Probably one of the most iconic, badass and influential cars from the United States. This car has gone on to be a car you simply can't run away from. No matter how good you hide, this car has made names great and sparked an all new revolution of sports cars. This is the history of everyone's favourite crowd mower, the Ford Mustang. It's the 1960s. The first James Bond movie came out. Everyone's a hippie, and the Beatles are the band to listen to. Life is good, but the vice president at Ford, Lee Iacocca, believes that things could be better. Iacocca saw the potential in a two-door, four-seater sports car, so he got his designers and engineers to create him a sports car which weighed under 1,135 kilograms and cost about $2,500 in less than 18 months. On paper, this was an impossible task, but either way, the designers and engineers worked night and day, and by late 1964, they had a car to sell. The Mustang was born. The Mustang was revealed at the New York World's Fair on April 17, 1964. Today, this day is known as National Mustang Day. The Mustang got its name from the P-51 Mustang fighter plane. The first gen Mustang was based off the second gen Falcon chassis, and it also used parts mainly from the Falcon and the Fairlane. The Mustang had a selection of engines available, from a 170 cubic inch 2.7 litre V6 to a 289 cubic inch 4.7 litre V8 with 271 brake horsepower. On day one, Ford sold 22,000 Mustangs, making it a hit in no time. The Mustang credits its long hood and short rear end to European sports cars at the time. In its first generation, Ford sold over 400,000 cars and made over $1 billion in profit. Although the Mustang was super popular and perfect, some people thought this would be better if it was faster. Okay, maybe one guy did. His name was Carroll Shelby. Sound familiar? Shelby got his hands on a 65 Mustang, fiddled with a 289 cubic inch V8, giving it an extra 35 brake horsepower, and created the Shelby Cobra GT350. It had 306 brake horsepower, and it kicked ass on the racetrack and the street. It competed in the SCCA Production B class and won the championship 3 times in a row. In 1967, the fastback model was released. This is a body style which inspired other cars like the Toyota Celica. The 67 fastback is probably one of the most beautiful cars ever made. The Mustang gained cult status when it appeared in Steve McQueen's finest film, Bullitt. By 1969, the Mustang had inspired other makers to make their own versions. We got the Chevy Camaro, Dodge Charger, and many more thanks to the Mustang. However, these cars were a little faster than the Mustang. So what does Ford do? Make the Mach-1, which had a 429 cubic inch V8 with 335 brake horsepower. In 1973, the second gen Mustang came out. At around the same time, the fuel oil crisis had caused a massive stir worldwide. A V8 wasn't an offer, but instead, there was an inline 4 and a V6. Look, the less I talk about the second gen, the better. In 1978, Ford released the third gen Mustang, better known as the foxbody. This car was not as popular as Ford had hoped, but a V8 was available, as well as a few turbocharged engines for the first time in the Mustang's history. Sales were so bad that Ford considered replacing the Mustang with a front-wheel drive Mazda-based platform, but that became the Probe. In 1987, the foxbody got a facelift, as well as a new, very tuner-friendly 5-litre V8. Fox bodies are great for projects, as they are cheap as chips and very easy to work on. In 1993, Ford released the SN95 Mustang. It was sportier and sleeker than before, but it was still an old dog. In 1996, the 302 CID Windsor V8, which had been in production since 1968, was dropped and replaced with the modular 4.6 litre V8. In 1999, there was a facelift, which brought the SVT Cobra and the Terminator, as well as the SVT Cobra R. They all had supercharged V8 engines, as well as independent rear suspension. In 2005, Ford released the S197 Mustang, which shared similar looks with the first gen. It was the best looking Mustang in 30 years. This retro design trend spread to Chevrolet and Dodge, as they based their Camaro and Challengers on their 60s counterparts. For the first time ever, the Mustang had its own chassis. There were a few special editions, like the Shelby GT500 and the Bullitt. In 2010, the S197 got a major facelift. The car's new look was a big hit, and it had a new engine, the legendary 5-litre Coyote V8. In 2013, the Mustang had another facelift, and a revamped GT500 model. This was Carroll Shelby's last car to be involved with. He died in 2012. His final project had 662 brake horsepower, and it could do 202 miles an hour. In 2015 we got the current gen Mustang. This is known as the S550. It had independent rear suspension throughout the entire range, a 4-cylinder EcoBoost engine, as well as a super cool V8. Currently it has had one facelift, a GT350 variant and a Bullitt version too. It is also available in right hand drive, and it's for sale in the UK and Ireland. That's cool, right? Except in Ireland, the V8 is €70,000. Overall, the Mustang combines fun, performance, price, and fun again, all into one package. The Mustang has been the leader of the sports car scene for years, and it will continue to do so. It's hard to go wrong with a Mustang, unless you're at a car meet.
Hey everybody! I'm a stupid moron with an ugly face and a big butt, and my butt smells, and I like to kiss my own butt.
That reminds me, for the next 2 weeks I will be taking a little break from making videos, as I'm going to spend time with my family. If you have any suggestions, questions, or ideas, let me know in the comments, as I will be doing an update video when I return. Enjoy!